Okay, hello everybody. I guess this is going to be my official first blog, or vlog, vlog, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna show you guys what passes for downtown where I live. Then, I guess we can go by the prison and go up Route 5 out of Saint Johnsbury here and see what's going on that way. So you can see those buildings there. That's our downtown, actually, one block. Because, you know, this is Vermont and we have huge towns like that here. Now you figure our largest city only has a population of, if we're lucky, when college is in session, 40,000-50,000 people. So, anyway, yeah, this is our downtown, such as it is, in beautiful Saint Johnsbury, Vermont. I've been seeing older cars like that out here quite a bit lately. Didn't know we had that many here in town, but apparently we do. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I guess I could swing up through and show you guys where the prison is. And we'll, because, you know, everybody wants to see a prison. And then we'll swing up Route 5 here for a little bit. Because I had a few people talk to me after I did my little test vlog, and one said they, you know, more rural areas would be nice. And we're going to talk a little about scooters, because this is, I guess, a scooter vlog. And if there's a lot of wind noise, I want to apologize kind of ahead of time here. Still trying to fine-tune mic placement, and it is pretty windy up here. That's been for the past few days. But anyway. So yeah, right here, going out of town, into town, whatever your perspective is. Route 5 here is a 4-lane, but it's only for about a mile. Just the other side of that interstate overpass there goes back to 2 lanes. It's about all we have for a claim to fame in terms of big roads here. Now, let's see. So anyway, scooters. So I get a message from the people doing the rally I'm going to. I mentioned it in my test vlog, the Ski Shrimp Run. It's going to be in Maine. That's our state police barracks there, and town or state garage. So I did an interview. Well, I don't know if it's an interview. Called one of the newspapers there. Turn up here. Here's where our prison is up here. It's one of the state prisons here in Vermont. But yeah, I talked with her about scooters, the trend in scootering. You know, what I thought about it. If I sound like an old man here, this little driveway here is kind of bumpy, so sorry about that. But yeah, this is our prison here in Saint Johnsbury. That's the main building over there from what I understand, and this building over here is kind of more of a minimal security area of it. So, yeah. Small towns, you gotta love them. Like, what'd you do? Hey, I went up and drove by and looked at the prison. It was a good time for everyone. But anyway, so I was talking to this reporter for a newspaper over there in Maine about trend in scootering and my thoughts on it. And I may have, I don't know, been kind of chatty and enthusiastic because, you know, scootering is something I am passionate about. And, you know, when you're talking about something you're passionate about, you tend to get chatty about it, at least I do. So, anyway, we were talking, and she was asking me questions about, you know, what I thought was the scootering demographic, why people are buying more scooters lately, you know, things like that. And, you know, from what I've seen, I know the demographic is everything from high school kids to older people, but I see a large part of it now being, let's say, people between the ages of 25 and 35 being a huge part of that demographic. And I think the main reasons why are, well, the economy, the gas prices. You know, I just filled my bike up here. I don't know if you can see my fuel gauge there, but I was on empty. My fuel light was flashing at me. And I just filled up with super premium. And it just cost me $5 to fill this thing up. You know, compared to my car, I have a Chevy HHR. It costs me over $50 to fill that up. So, the other reason, you know, and I kind of touched on this a little bit in my other video, you know, it's kind of that test one, was practicality of scooters. And not to take away anything from a motorcycle, but, and, you know, take away, I have a problem with my hip, so it's hard for me to swing my leg up over a bike like I used to be able to, so that's one of the main reasons why I, you know, go the route with the scooter. But they get better mileage than a motorcycle. They cost less to buy. They have more built-in storage. They cost less to maintain. They cost less to get repaired. Even tires. Sheesh, tires on a scooter are a lot cheaper than on a motorcycle. So, you know, you add all those things together. If you break it down to its most basic elements, you buy the motorcycle because it's cool. And I get that. Because, you know, I struggled for a little bit on what to get. You know, it's like, well, I could make this work with my leg, and, you know, but I don't know. To me, there's a fun on the scooter. There's a brothership. We're having that brothership that motorcycles have had, and every time you get scooters together, it's just a good time. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen with motorcycles, because I've been with guys on motorcycles and we had a blast, but it's a different kind of fun. You know, I don't know, it's one of those things unless you've done it. I guess for me, I've only been scootering for a couple of years now, so it might still be difficult for me to explain that kind of intangible part of it. You know, but honestly, I've had times where I've said to myself, well, I'm just going to bite the bullet and get a motorcycle, but I can't pull the trigger on it. I'm actually getting a new bike this week, and it's another scooter. It's another touring scooter. So, you know, I could have just as easily got a motorcycle, but I couldn't pull the trigger on it. Just something drew me to the scooter. even though I already have one. I think it's probably because I know that I would have just kept riding this scooter. My plan is I don't need a bunch of scooters. I had a little 50cc 2012 Yamaha Zuma. I actually have a video for that on my channel. But actually, I gave that to my sister and my brother-in-law. They just moved to New York last year, and where they're at, it's kind of, you can get around on their property on it. Zuma's kind of a nice rugged bike, so, you know, and I have this Passumpsic MS3250. So with me getting the new one, which is going to be a Kimco Exciting 250, I don't need two 250s. It's just me. I'm not married. I don't have any kids, so I don't need two 250 bikes. So I'm going to sell it. So I'm going to sell this one. It rides great. It runs great. I just can't see the point of having two. But like I said, if I would have gone the motorcycle route instead of the scooter route, I know I would have rode this more than the motorcycle. Just because I want to say it's more fun. It's fun in a different way. Again, I don't want to take anything away from the motorcycles because I have a blast on them. It's just a different kind of fun. So, yeah, that's what's going on with that. So one of my next vlogs pretty soon should be on the new bike. I'm hoping they have it ready this week. I've actually been waiting for it. The dealership I'm getting it from is in the southern part of the state. If you were to look at a map of Vermont, where I live, I'm up in the northeast part of the state, and these guys are kind of southwest. It's a little over 100 miles from where I live. So, yeah, drive down, pick it up, ride it back. I was hoping to have had it last week, but boy, they went through that thing with a fine-tooth comb. I cannot speak well enough of this dealership, and unfortunately, I'm on the road right now, and I can't remember. I'll put in the description, I'll put the name of the dealership and a link to them, because honestly, I'd recommend them to anybody. I'm buying a used bike. It's 2007, and instead of just selling it to me and sending me out the door, they went through, they changed all the fluids and filters in this thing. Every drop of fluid in it got changed, the filters got changed. Then they put brand new tires on it. And after they put the tires on it, the mechanic took it for a test drive and noticed the speedometer wasn't working right. So they ordered a new speed sensor for the speedometer. And while I'd love to be riding it right now, I can't be upset over that. I really can't. You know, that kind of stuff that they're putting into on a used bike that, quite honestly, they're selling for less than what it's worth to begin with, and they're eating the cost of the tires and all this other stuff. Yeah, that's just awesome. You don't see that in dealerships. Yeah, so I'm truly impressed with these guys. I really wish that I could remember the name of this dealership off the top of my head. I know they're in Rutland, Vermont. I'm going to put a link for them with their name in the description here. So, anyway, yeah, this is Route 2. I should probably slow down because I'm going about 60, 65, and the speed limit on here is 50, and the cops do patrol this. There's not Route 2, I said Route 5. Boy, it's been one of them days. And a little bit of riding here in Vermont. That's the interstate parallels Route 5 here, going north-south on this side of the state. But like I said, I thought I'd just get a little ride in before we had a storm coming. We were supposed to have some really bad rain here for the past couple days, but I mean, yesterday it rained for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but other than that, there really wasn't much of anything in terms of bad weather. So, I don't, anyway, we'll go check out this town. I've actually never ridden through this town before. I don't think there's much here. Most of the towns around here are pretty tiny. A few houses, a church, maybe a corner store if you're lucky. I think where that motorcycle was parked when we were coming in, there, it might have been a little store. I guess I'll turn around here. So, the Barton Library, July 11th, magnets. Hey, we'll buy some magnets. But, yeah, that's over there, those mountains, that's New Hampshire, because this part of Vermont, you're right on the New Hampshire border. Go over there quite a bit. Actually, I was gonna go over there today. I was gonna take you guys on a ride over to New Hampshire today. However, for some reason, I thought, oh, look at that. I love those old bikes. Those old... Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Just those old bikes. And it's got that Kawasaki green on it. That is a thing of beauty. See, that's the kind of style I like. That's why today's bikes I'm not a huge fan of. Because I like how your leg position on that, where you're kind of down. You don't have that way forward position like you do on all the cruisers and tours now. And your legs aren't also doubled back on you like on the sports bikes. To me, that just kind of looks like a more comfortable riding position. I know years ago I had a friend that had a Shadow 750, and had the pegs down like that, and I took it for a couple rides, and personally I thought it was more comfortable than a lot of the other bikes that I rode with the pegs in that forward position. But again, like anything, whether it's a scooter or a motorcycle, whether it's a cruiser, a tourer, sport bike, personal preference. Oh, or an enduro. I don't want to leave those guys out of it. And speaking of personal preference, and I know this thing's is starting to get real chatty and long, and so I guess I'm violating one of the sacred rules of vlogging. Don't make it too long, and oh well, I guess that's my prerogative. Just like you guys can turn it off if you don't want to listen to me babble, or you could mute me and just look at the nice scenery. It's up to you. Or I could slow down because I'm doing about 65, 70 here, and probably don't want to be doing that. Let's get this scooter preference. Because I've actually had people come up to me and ask me about what they should get for a scooter, and it's like when people ask you what they should get for a computer, what are you going to do with it? And you got to look at styling too, because I know myself, and I know I'm going to upset some people, so I'm going to apologize in advance to Jessica. Don't get upset with me when I say this, because I don't need you beating me up in Maine. I am not a fan of Vespa. I know a lot of people love Vespa, Lambretta, and that style. I don't. I never really liked that look or style of scooter. Well, that's just my personal preference. I prefer the more sportier looking, the more European style of bike. which is funny because a Vespa is a European, but modern European, it has more of a sport bike look to it. But it's funny, a lot of people love the Vespas, and I understand that. They're good machines. They're solid machines. I really can't fault a Vespa. Just personal preference. Not a fan. Not a fan of the look. Not a fan of, what are those 10-inch tires they have on them. Yeah, that's just me. And plus they just seem pretty heavy. I mean, they're all metal, which is good. You know, you could talk about these bikes like this one here. Oh, it's all plastic and blah, blah, blah. Which, you know, it is. And the Vespas are all metal, which is cool, but that adds a lot of weight. And, you know, I don't know. In my head, again, I can see the pros and cons. But for me, I just don't like the style. That's what it boils down to. And I get it, it's the retro thing, and, you know, everything old is new again, and retro is cool, and I get that, but I've never been concerned with cool. If cool was a concern for me, I certainly wouldn't be on a scooter, you know, with the climate being what it is in this country towards them. But in terms of style, I've never been somebody that chases style. So for me, I went with the kind of sport tour style of scooter, simply because I like the look. But also, there's a certain functionality in this style in terms of storage, engine layout, electronics, all that stuff. You know, form follows function. And so yeah, that's why I go with this. And, you know, I'm not trying to start some, you know, big, oh no, Vespas are the best, or, you know, I'm just giving my opinion. That's all it is an opinion. You know, that's not to take away from the people that ride Vespas, because, you know, you're awesome, Jessica, please don't hurt me. I just wouldn't own one. It's like motorcycles, and here's where I'm really gonna get a lot of people pissed off at me. I do not like Harleys. If somebody knocked at my door tomorrow morning with a brand new crated Harley, I would leave it in the crate and I would be on the phone to bike dealerships asking what they trade it for. I do not like Harleys. Everybody I know that owns a Harley, they're always breaking down. And to be honest with you, I'd rather be riding than repairing. That's just me. I don't know. I get it. Oh, it's an American-made bike. Well, it's an American-made bike with a lot of its parts made in Mexico and China. But, you know, that is what it is. And I know that's going to piss a lot of people off, but you know what? It's true. When I drove truck, I used to deliver to Harley plants, and I brought a lot of trailers full of Harley parts from Mexico up to the factories, so it is what it is. You know, like a sport bike, I wouldn't own a sport bike. I'm too old for that crap now. Even if my hip was fine, I don't think I'd own a sport bike now. I just was never comfortable with that leg, my leg bent underneath me position. But I know a lot of people that love them. You know, that's why it gets me. We have people that get so upset by what other people buy, what other people ride. You know what? I'm riding a scooter, so what? How does that affect you? You know, you got a motorcycle, you don't like scooters. Again, how does my riding this bike affect you? Just like somebody riding a Harley, doesn't affect me in any way. Personally, no, I wouldn't own one if you gave it to me. But you want to own one, more power to you. God bless you. Anyway, I guess I will stop yapping right now, and for those of you that have stayed with me this long, thank you. For those of you who haven't muted me yet with my rambling babble, thank you. I'm going to be making more of these videos. Hopefully I can become more concise. It's something I'm going to work on. Actually, I wasn't planning this ride. I just kind of put the camera on and started babbling. But I do have a list of things I do want to talk about and will be talking about in the future. So as I go along, hopefully these will improve. If you like the video, click the like button, click the subscribe button. Woman driving along at 20 miles an hour talking on her cell phone. So, oh, and yes, I did pass her on a double yellow. And that's one of the things I love about my home state of Vermont. Hold on. Moo! You gotta do that. It's cows. You gotta move at them. In Vermont, it is legal. You can pass on a double yellow line. If you don't believe me, look it up. But in this state, in Vermont, you can do that. So before people start saying, you passed that woman on a double yellow line, yes, I did. We can do that in Vermont because we're freaking awesome like that. So anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll have a new video coming soon.